Hello everybody, this is Fierce Wifer Studios again. And today first of all, welcome to the new workshop. And then there's a new shelf over there as well. There's another one I just haven't built up with the pieces are there. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? You could watch the video I filmed for building all of this. I actually took the whole frame off from the old desk and rebuilt the whole thing from scratch. It's pretty good. Today our video is going to be about how to solder a RC battery. It's going to be the same as the other battery I made. I'm not going to show it to you now. I'm just going to be doing the video again. I already made a video, how to make an RC battery part 1, how to make an RC battery part 2. Part 2 is the one I'm going to be copying right now. I'm going to add a few more tips, especially for soldering. While I make this video. So this is not going to be how to make RC battery part 3. This is going to be how to solder, it's going to be how to solder a battery. How to solder on top of a battery. So yeah, that's basically it. So I'm going to be doing it on this desk, on that desk. Actually, yeah, I'm going to be doing it on this desk. Actually, no, I'll do it here. Yeah, I'll do it here. More lights. Yeah, I'll do it right here actually. Anyways, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is batteries, rechargeable batteries. So here's my rechargeable battery stockpile. You're going to need, first you have to know what type of battery you're going to be using. I use AA's. Each AA is 1.2 volts for most AA's, that is. For the rechargeable batteries, it's the same thing. Alright, I've got the 6th battery. So yeah, remember they all have to be exactly the same. They have to be exactly the same, everything about them. So these are all exactly the same. And this is basically how the battery is going to look like. It's going to be, these two are going to be connected, these two are going to be connected, these two are going to be connected on this side. And then on the other side, these two middle ones will be connected. So these will be connected and these will be connected. These ones here will remain unconnected. This negative and this positive. That's really it. Now I'm going to be showing you how to solder the connections. That's exactly what I'm going to be showing you today, as well as this connection. I'm going to be showing you how to solder them to the battery. And I'll go more into the finer details of soldering on the battery as I show you how to do it. The other episode that I didn't really go into details. This episode I'm going to be really going into details with soldering. So it's pretty good. So yeah, I'm also gonna call the video like how to solder. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll put a couple of tags on to show everybody. This is also how to solder, like the basic fundamentals. I explained it in another video, but I'm just re-explaining it again. So anyways, I'm going to pause for a while and I'll come back to you. So again, just be brief. These are what you're going to need. The solder, make sure it has rosin core. The soldering tool. For this battery I'm using 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AA batteries. They're all identical. The batteries have to be identical. I'm using these strips of wire. Make sure they have the rubber tube surrounding it, because you need that. It's for protection. You're going to need a connector for the battery with a negative and a positive wire. You're going to need wire cutters. You're going to need a place to solder on. You could use something like this as well, but I prefer something wider in case it falls over or anything. And you're going to need a damp, it's not damp yet, but you're going to need to make it damp. That's it. So now you're going to need to cut the strip some of the plastic tubing off the wires on each end, but remember to leave like a little bit in the middle. That's it. So I'll just do that right now and then I'll come back to you. Oh, and while you have the chance, you should plug in your soldering tool. Remember to solder close to an outlet so you don't get tangled in the wire or anything. Or you don't have to stretch the wire, that is. Soldering tool doesn't fly away from you. So it's supposed to look like this. Alright, I'll do the rest of the wires. So I finished shaving the wires. They look like tiny resistors now. Anyways, now let's get into the soldering business. So we've got our batteries. Now before we start soldering the batteries, we're going to tape them together. So you can use clear tape, doesn't matter, doesn't have to be electrical tape. We're just putting the batteries together. This is the end of my tape, too bad. So you're just going to strap them right through the middle and just crisscross them. Watch, I'm not going to explain it, I'm just, if you want to know how to build a battery, watch my other video. My other one, part 1 and part 2, I explain it fully. And at this point, make sure you didn't do any mistakes. So, oh yeah, and make sure they're aligned. You don't want a zigzaggy battery. That's about enough. And now, let's get into the soldering business. So here we have our sponge. Here we have our soldering tool, my soldering tool that has been heated up for a long time. I see the little blobs on it fell off. So now, I'll explain the blob later. Now, you wipe off your tool. And now we're going to get some solder. And you're going to place some solder on the tool, not too much. And you're going to get one of your wires, use this one, and you're going to soak this wire with the solder. Doesn't have to be too much, especially the wire is so thin. If you put too much solder, it won't conduct properly. Alright, and now that we have the solder, the solder on the wire, you're just gonna get your battery. You can do it in here, I'll just do it on the wood, it doesn't really matter. The battery will protect the surface of the desk. And now this is gonna be very quick. Okay, here, nice and close so you could all see. So just put one finger in the middle of the wire where there's the protective rubber, and place a little blob in the middle of the battery. Or, no, a little bit to the side, it's fine. It's fine even if it's to the side on a negative. And now you're going to take your soldering tool and you're going to melt it on quickly. And that's it. It's not going anywhere. Or wait, no, it's not melted properly. You have to make sure it sticks on. There, now it's melted properly. There, now that is not going anywhere. Now, I'm just gonna bend it like this. Actually, you should put solder on both sides. It's alright, I forgot to do that. I'll just put solder on it now like this. I'll need some more solder to make that solid. There, that's pretty connected. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. And that's how you solder, really. It's not difficult. It's very simple. Just remember to put solder on both ends the next time, like when you do it. Sorry, I'll do that the next time. And also, what I should let you know, you should cut the wire so then it fits neatly, so you don't have to bend it like how I had to. I'll do that now. Anyways, I'll finish doing these solderings, then I'll be back with you to show you some more tips with the solder. Oh, and by the way, something I learned, always heat up the soldering tool all the way before you start soldering. So then it would melt quickly and properly, and the quality would be good. If you start trying to press it so it would melt and it's not hot enough yet, the quality of the solder will be very, very weak. So make sure you leave it for 15 to 20 minutes to heat up first. Anyways, I'm going to finish doing my soldering, and I'll be back with you. There we go. That's how it looks like. So after you're finished soldering, or if you're not going to be soldering for a little while, so you want to leave it here, right? But before you do that, just put some solder on your soldering tool. Wipe it a few times on your damp sponge. This is to avoid oxidation on the soldering tool. Put a little more of solder on it. This is also to reduce oxidation. And just leave it there. And now we will cut this about there. There we go. And we'll shred this. As you can see, the wire is way thicker than the other one. And it's also easier to peel. And we're going to solder this to here and here. And that's it, we're done. Just like that. And we've got a nice battery for ourselves. Oh yeah. So, same procedure. Just put a lot of, oops. Oh yeah, before you start soldering again, you should have wiped it. I forgot to do that. Never waste the solder that's on here. You could always reuse it. So now I'll put some more solder. And we'll put it on here. For a thicker wire, you're going to need some more solder. So what you can do is put your wire up against the solder. Press the tool against the wire. Sorry, press the tool in between. And we'll get plenty of solder on the wire. There we go, nice big blob. Now we'll do the same for the other wire. Nice big blob of solder. There we go. Now I'll put some soldering tool here for a second. The angle's good, right? Yeah, it's good. I was holding it right there. Now, just lean your battery against something. So the black wire is negative, and the red wire is positive. And this is positive, this is negative. So you're going to put the positive on the positive and the negative on the negative. Just going to solder it down, just like you did with the other wires. You might need to press it down. You might need some more solder if it doesn't work. Not a very good solder, to be quite honest. Not a good solder. This is a bad solder. There. I used way too much solder. I used way too much solder. Ah, it's not even attached properly. That was a bad solder. That was bad. I'll try and do better with this one. What you should do is you should take a little bit of solder from your rosin core and put that little bit of solder on the battery directly. That's what I failed to do over here. With small wires it was fine because they're so thin, but this one's so thick you need to get some solder on those batteries. Check out my other videos for how to build a battery. I did better with those ones. There. That's a good solder. There we go. Nice firm connection. This one's disgusting. But it's fine, you know. Too bad. But this one's good. And of course all these are good. Now I'm just going to finish up the battery by placing... Oh yeah, and now I'm going to I'll show you how to finish solder using the soldering tool. So get some rosin core, apply quite a bit to it, and just wipe it on your towel, your damp sponge a few times. Your objection is just to take off all the black stuff from the tip. The stuff here doesn't really matter. It's not important. It's just, the tip is the important part. Never scrape your tip. Never scrape your tip. Because what it is, never scrape it because it's actually a coating of copper. And if you scrape that off, it won't take the heat. It won't spread the heat properly. Now unplug your tool. I just did that, and apply a last bit of solder onto it. Nice, good blob. Just circle it around a little. Then put your tool off to the side, and you're done. All the solder, don't waste it. I just put mine in a little pile here. Always useful for later. That's it, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's not a very great video, but it's fine. I mean, I gave you a few tips on soldering. But again, if you watch my other video for how to build a battery, it goes into depth on how to build the battery. So yeah. Another thing I should mention is when you're soldering on a battery, you have to make sure it's nice and quick because you don't want to heat up the battery. If you heat up the battery too much, it could spoil it. It could cause leaks and a lot of other stuff. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and finish building my battery and I'll be back with you. Test it. Alright, I finished the battery overnight. So here's how it looks like. As you can see, I put electrical tape on top of the soldering. That way it's very well protected from, well, I'm protected. And And then I put a piece of wood here to just stabilize it and wraps it all up in tape. I put lots of layers of tape, so it's almost it's literally waterproof. It's basically waterproof. Still, I wouldn't recommend like dumping it into a huge bucket of water or something. That's just ridiculous. Anyways, now I'm gonna test it on this the Summit VXL. Just gonna simply put the battery like this. Plug it in. Well, you should turn on your remote first. And turn the car on. It's not working though, actually, so. Oops. Yeah, as you can see, it's not working. Wait, I'll just test the motor. Well, it turned on. And you'll see the motor. There you go, it's working. Yep, looks good. Of course, the motor itself is in prime condition, so, but the battery works. Yeah, pretty good. Anyways, now I just need to charge it, and the battery is ready to go. Literally. Test it on the Evo later on when I have time. So, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions about soldering on batteries, please comment on this video. If you want to know how to build a battery from scratch, like in more detail, then please watch How to Build a Battery Part 1 and How to Build a Battery Part 2 on My Fair Studios. It goes more into detail on the battery. This was more just about soldering on a battery. Thanks everybody for watching. Oh, that's strange. Sorry, I'm distracted. There we go. What's the matter? There we go. Anyways, doesn't matter. Oh, that's working. Good part. Anyways, please comment and subscribe, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it helped you with your troubles or your curiosity. Or if you just watched it for fun, hope you liked it. See you later. Goodbye.